Oh, over the weekend. Did you hear about this, folks, over the weekend? An 11-year-old girl was tasered at an Orlando, Florida elementary school.
Apparently, she was so out of control that the school's resource officer felt she had no choice but to taser the girl. The 11-year-old is okay, but the whole debacle obviously is raising some serious questions about how far to go when it comes to disciplining kids in school.
An elementary schoolgirl acting unruly is no great surprise. But handling a wild child by zapping the 11-year-old, now that's shocking. It happened last Thursday at Moss Park Elementary School in Orlando, Florida. The 11-year-old, Thalia Jimenez, shoved a friend. The friend told a teacher. The teacher confronted Thalia, but the 11-year-old ignored her and walked away. The homeroom teacher tried to talk to the student, but Thalia got agitated and shoved her desk and chair. The offending student was then sent to the office, but she refused and yelled and spit at the teachers. Donna Huddapole was called in to remove the fired-up fourth grader from the classroom. Huddapole, an Orange County Sheriff's deputy, is the school's resource officer. But Thalia pushed the officer and punched her in the face. The officer attempted to secure the out-of-control student, but the kid continued to fight, so Huddapole shocked her with her taser gun. The 11-year-old was also taken to the hospital to have the taser prongs removed. Thalia was arrested and transported to the Juvenile Detention Center. The next day, she appeared in court to face charges of battery on a law enforcement officer, disrupting a school function, and resisting with violence. Officer Huddapole was treated for a bruised sinus cavity. So what do you think? Is this how to discipline an elementary schoolgirl?
Joining us is former prosecutor and judge Janine Pirro. We also have school resource officer Don Bridges. He's also a national trainer of school resource officers.
And we have two psychologists to handle this one, Susan Bartell and Debbie Maggots, both here today. So, Janine, I mean, this child, she's 11 years old, but let's look at her size. 5'5", 160 pounds.
You're 5'4".
Yeah, but her mother says she's 5'1". So, look, here's the issue. What does it say about us as a society when we're bringing taser guns into elementary school to taser kids in front of their classmates because a police officer can't control an 11-year-old?
No, I think it says that our parents are raising children that are out of control.
Hey, the parent is wrong. There's no question about it. This parent needs to be maybe tasered. That's another issue. But the 11-year-old doesn't deserve to be tasered.
No matter what the body size.
Look, she didn't have a weapon. She didn't, she didn't threaten them. The teacher, the cop couldn't control. And by the way, the cop needs to go back to rookie school if you can't control.
Well, why don't we talk to a cop and see what he would do in this situation?
Well, let me tell you, have you ever tried to take someone into custody that does not want to go with you? Have you ever tried that?
I've been a DA for 30 years. I imagine if you want to take an 11-year-old into custody, you don't need to taser them.
Let me share this with you. Everything I have read, she was 5'5", 160. I've got her beat by 10 pounds. So let me just tell you, that is a very, very difficult task to take someone into custody when they don't want to go. When the officer left home that day, that officer's goal was to come into that schoolhouse and to make a positive difference in the life of the children within the building.
You train school resource officers. Now, what exactly is their training? Are they regular police officers?
School resource officers are fully sworn officers. The only difference between a school resource officer and your average officer is the schoolhouse is that officer's post.
But I thought there was no corporal punishment supposed to happen in a public school like this.
That is not punishment, sir. That is absolutely not punishment. The officer is duty-bound to make sure that every person within the schoolhouse is safe.
Let's decide if this is punishment or not. We're going to take a look at someone being tased. Now, it's not an 11-year-old, but it's an adult male. This is a grown man getting tased. Is this punishment?
We're going to do a countdown from 5. Ready, down, 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 down.
Many years ago.
You guys ready? Tight. Me, come on!
I can understand that would be very worrisome to a parent, but again, let's remember, this girl was out of control. She was throwing desks. She was punching the officer in the face. My question, though, is the officer, was this officer? Do you think that you would have handled this the same way? Who was this officer?
It is very, very difficult. Be very, very mindful that the taser in this particular instance, as with all other instances, is the last resort. That individual person was actually given other commands prior to the taser being used. So, you know, if we have an individual within a school that will not listen to a uniformed officer, then